Brought to you by stationhousecoffee.com and inspireddisorder.com/ting.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Swipe Up, the 102nd episode of the show where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram. Let's get it started here with a follow-up from Steve-O. I shared a few weeks ago. Steve-O taped himself to a billboard in LA to promote his special that he has streaming exclusively through his website, steveo.com, which I have not seen yet. The special is called Gnarly. I heard actually he was on Tiger Belly recently, and he discussed his special and kind of the pain it was to try and get sold. He tried to sell it to Netflix, and there was just a few places because his special is kind of a multimedia type of a thing, but it has, excessive nudity and bodily harm, and just something that you couldn't put in most companies wouldn't touch it, and Netflix being one of them. So he decided to go all out and do this stunt and to promote it. And while doing the stunt, being taped to the billboard, he didn't want to cause anybody to do anything. Like, the police showed up, but he did everything specifically to where they couldn't do anything, so he didn't get arrested or anything. But they did send the fire department out to get him down. Like, he told them, I'll get myself down. He had the cranes there. He tried to prepare to make sure he's not taking away any kind of useful services that the city would need to do more important things, like fire department maybe put out a fire, since there are especially a lot of fires right now. But because the fire department had to bring him down, he decided to do a fundraiser where he got a bunch of posters made of him being taped to the billboard, and he sold them. And then he sold $25,000 worth, and he matched it with $25,000 of his own, and he donated it to the LA Fire Department charity fund, the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. So I don't know. I love Steve-O. Big fan of Jackass back in the day, obviously. Very excited to see his special. Haven't yet, but I will go check it out. Just because I enjoyed his first special, and just hearing him talk about that special and then this special, this one seems like he's really taken a step up as far as what he's doing and just understanding comedy more and the performance of it, and doing something new that a lot of people aren't doing. So go to steveo.com and watch Gnarly. I mean, you can't if you're a fan of Jackass, might as well. Now, moving on to comedian Miss Pat, is a hilarious comedian, posting this. Everybody's got their political yard lawn signs up. Here's something if you want to maybe deface somebody's Trump Pence poster, sign, flag. There's millions of flags out there. But, the sign, this is a simple way to convert that Trump Pence sign to say, I pump penis, which is just a great sign. I would imagine most people who are very passionate about Trump getting back in office, staying in office, are also people that are passionately homophobic. So this is a nifty little way to kind of just slightly alter their yard sign to be something that they probably wouldn't like. So moving on now, again. This time, I talked about it before. I reviewed it on an episode. Your Mom's House, live and uncensored, is coming back, even though they got fired again from the service that was broadcasting them last time. I believe it's still the same service, but instead of going to the website of the service, they set up their own website. I think the back-end stuff, like the ticketing and streaming, is still the same company. But they've distanced themselves, it looks like. I don't know that for sure. That's just my guess. But YMH is back, and here's a little promo for the Chomo the second time around. Let's see. They have new special guests and new things, so let's check out their promo here right now.
You wanted it, you got it.
We're back.
Your Mom's House live.
It's going to be crazier clips and crazier guests. Joey Diaz.
Hammer in her mouth, and she didn't know what to do. She's like,
Dr. Drew.
There's something about the quality of her stool that is really bothersome to me.
Yeah,
The
that's
extra
probably-
dark.
And a special guest.
Robert Paul Champagne.
Go to ymhvirtual.com to get tickets for our second live streaming special event.
September 18th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Worldwide.
The first one was very painful to watch. It actually reminded me of when I first saw Faces of Death back in high school. It's just like you're going to see stuff that you can't unsee. And if you're a fan of Your Mom's House, the podcast, then you have an idea of what you may not be able to unsee. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm a huge Your Mom's House fan from the first day of the first podcast with Red Band and them kind of just figuring out everything, what the show's going to be. And it's been a long journey. And these uncensored live things are just next level ridiculous. So September 18th, on Friday, I will be watching episode 2. So let's move on now to, if you're a fan of combat sports, then I would imagine you have UFC Fight Pass. It's basically the Netflix for all combat sports. You can stream all the old UFC fights, jiu-jitsu, smaller organizations doing MMA, kickboxing. And now it looks like Chael Sonnen has started a wrestling underground. He also does submission underground, but this is wrestling, which is kind of the first time we're seeing wrestling, aside from like collegiate or Olympic wrestling. You're actually getting to see real wrestling. I'm not talking about the extremely fake and annoying WWE or the quote-unquote professional wrestling, the improv stunt people who don't actually compete in anything, but they do get injured, so everybody's like, it's real. Sure, it's really dangerous improv stunt work, but it is not actual wrestling. It is not actual competition. It's not really a sport or athletics. It's 100% entertainment, soap operas, and I don't get it. I was never into it as a child. And it is a thing for boys. It is really a thing for boys. I'm sure girls are into it. I don't want to be sexist or anything. But to call it a sport, the fact that sports reporters discuss WWE and its subsidiaries, its peers, as if it is a sport because of the whole charade of the thing, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So it's amazing to see actual wrestling having a spotlight in the world instead of this fake bullshit that they try to pass off as real wrestling. So if you want to actually see what wrestling is, get Fight Pass and check out the World Underground Wrestling or Wrestling Underground from Chael Sonnen. I love Chael. Chael's great. Now moving on to the last and final post, this one from Fat Mike Dude, the lead singer of NoFX, one of my favorite punk bands of all time. They're doing a live show where they're going to play their album White Trash, Two Heebs and a Bean from start to finish from their backyard, streamed everywhere. This is a stream that I'm going to try and check out also. I think it's, I want to say it comes out on a day very similar, the 19th, so maybe I won't. I think that's Saturday, so maybe I won't be able to check it out. Maybe I'll check it out post. I'll see the follow-up. But this is hilarious. I mean, they've been around since '86, and Fat Mike posts here that he's from the beginning. He'd always wanted Rolling Stone to cover their band back when they were doing backyard shows, and he never knew that 34 years later that Rolling Stone would actually be promoting a backyard show from NoFX. Just kind of crazy how reality can come around eventually. Things can change in an instant. You never know how a dream's going to come true, at what steps it will take to become a reality. But yeah, it's great, and I love NoFX. I do. They still make great music that is perfect for the times we're living in today. So anyway, shout out to them. And let's do some shout outs, by the way. Let's do some shout outs and get out of here. Shout out to Steve O, comedian, Miss Pat, Segura Tom, Mad Flavors _world, Dr. Drew Pinsky, Robert Paul Champagne. Shout out to UFC Fight Pass, Sonnen CH, WUG _wrestling, and shout out to Fat Mike Dude. But most importantly, shout out to you. Make sure you support our sponsors by following Station House Coffee on Instagram and going to stationhousecoffee.com and order yourself some amazing premium coffee, small batch, single origin coffee brewed in Vermont, shipped directly to you. Go to stationhousecoffee.com, support small business, and get yourself some high quality, amazing coffee today. Also, get $25 in credit when you sign up for your new cell phone service over at Ting. Go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Ting. That's TING for the best coverage coast to coast, same low rates, now with 3 of the most powerful networks supporting them. Ting is amazing. You only pay for what you use. My cell phone bill has been less than $15 because I turn the data off because I'm home all the time. So go get yourself $25 in credit when you sign up for Ting using my link, inspireddisorder.com/Ting. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!